Have you ever participated in, or at least watched others participate in, an obstacle race? Some big ones that come to mind are the Tough Mudder, the Spartan Race, and the aptly named Rugged Maniac, just to name a few. If you're just observing, it can be really entertaining. When competitors get fatigued, they start making a lot of mistakes, both mentally and physically. They slip, stumble, wobble, bumble, flounder, and topple, all in the name of entertainment. Of course, if you happen to be one of the competitors, it may not be all that funny if you're serious about winning. Still, it can definitely make for a great highlight reel later on when you're able to finally laugh about it. Probably dozens of life lessons that can be learned from these challenges, but one that sticks with me the most is the impact of muscle fatigue and how eerily similar that is to the way our inner world works as well. In his fascinating book, Willpower, Rediscovering the Greatest Human Strength, Dr. Roy Baumeister shares lessons on how to focus our strength and redirect our lives. In what became one of the most cited papers in social science literature, Dr. Baumeister discovered that willpower actually has a physical basis and operates a lot like a muscle. It can be strengthened with practice, and it can be fatigued by overuse. It doesn't take much of an imagination to see the potential applications of such a theory. One example mentioned in the book is that psychologist Don Balcom observed that marriages seem to have the most trouble when stress at work is at its worst. His conclusion is that people were using up all their willpower on the job. They gave it the office, and their home life suffered the consequences. So what exactly is willpower, though? What parts of the brain are used? Which neural circuits? What are the physical changes? At the risk of oversimplifying, one specific portion of the brain called the anterior cingulate cortex, or ACC, seems to be the primary conflict monitoring and error detection system of the brain. What Dr. Baumeister discovered is that through exertion of willpower, we have what he called ego depletion, a clearly diminished capacity to regulate our thoughts, feelings, and actions. In other words, in this depleted state, there's an actual slowdown in the ACC, that self-control mechanism. It's pretty easy to identify because there's a noticeable change in the overall intensity of your feelings. For example, if you find yourself especially bothered by frustrating events or saddened by unpleasant thoughts or even happier than normal about some good news, then maybe, says Dr. B, it's because your brain's circuits aren't controlling emotions as well as normal. Another key finding is that stress actually depletes willpower. He says that there's a common misperception that stress causes you to become grumpy, irritable, and prone to anger or despair. But what stress really does, he says, is deplete your willpower, which diminishes your ability to control those emotions. Not only that, but once your willpower is diminished, your cravings start to feel stronger than ever. In other words, you're more easily tempted. It's a double whammy. So, after studying thousands of people, the conclusions were simple. Willpower is finite and is depleted with use. And you use the same stock of willpower energy for many things, but in 4 very broad categories. First, we need willpower to control our thoughts. Second, we need willpower to control our emotions. Third, we need willpower to control our impulses. This is what we stereotypically think of when we think about willpower, that resisting temptation. And finally, fourth, we need willpower to control our performance. This is basically task perseverance with just the right combination of speed and accuracy. So, what happens when we experience this ego depletion? Do we just get a pass for poor performance? Well, I think we probably need to be a little more gracious towards one another, even on our best days. But that isn't really the point. The point is that willpower is a natural, God-given way to keep us from slipping, stumbling, and wobbling, bumbling, floundering, and toppling. But at some point, we all need help. I think that may very well be the key to understanding the fruit of the Spirit in the lives of believers. When we've exhausted our own ability to self-regulate in any given situation, the Holy Spirit provides us access to truly supernatural energy or ability so that we can function beyond normal human capacity. In other words, when I need to be more loving than I'm capable of in this moment, when I need to be more joyful than I am capable of in this moment, when I need to be more peaceful than I am capable of in this moment, when I need to be more patient than I am capable of in this moment, when I need more kindness, more goodness, more faithfulness, more gentleness than I am capable of in this moment, when I need more self-control than I am capable of in this moment. If you find yourself stumbling, especially in moments when you are already taxed beyond your natural abilities, learn to call upon the Holy Spirit to empower you. If you can do that, then even as you stumble, you can still stick the landing.